Hi guys, welcome to Melin Grow Up. Um, Today I want to share something that I'm currently practicing or that I'm learning um, on how to make decisions that are aligned with my soul, with my body, with what I want. um, Initially, like if I had a decision to make, I would find myself that I'm running around asking my siblings, what would you do? What would you do? My friends, asking them, what would you do in this condition? But to be honest with you, when it comes to the decision making, you you are your own, you have your own experience. No one has been in your shoes than yourself. So there is really, people can give you opinions on what they think, but no one knows exactly what to do like you. So I have learned that even like asking for other people's opinion, it's very useful, but I am learning that listening to yourself, listening to your body, um, is one of the best way to make decision, because your soul, your inner self knows what's best for you than anyone else, because no one has walked in your shoes, not your siblings, not your family, anybody, not your friends. It's you and your inner self, your soul, who knows what's best for you and what's your purpose for you to be here. So making decision from the inside than correcting information from outside, I am finding that it's more helpful and peaceful than using gathering information and then this like listening to what other people are saying. I'm not saying listening to other people is a bad decision, but I'm also saying that listening to yourself, it's more um, it's more aligned with what you want, what your soul wants, and where you're going. So, not to keep this video long, um, a little bit of a background of myself. I was raised by a single father, and my mom passed away when I was really young, and my elder brother took a really big part to raise us. And I find myself that whenever I'm making decision, I'm very logic. I decide and I do what I need to do. So basically I make decision logic. So I'll do like what's the next logic thing to do, then I'll do that. And as I'm growing up, I'm learning that although this way of making decision has been great to set a foundation, like a great foundation for me. I was able to do well in school, graduate, practiced as a registered nurse, and I'm currently in at the end of my master's. I haven't graduated yet. For those who know, it's been a while, but I will share maybe in the future what's happening. But going back to the topic, the things that I'm kind of learning on how to make decision from here downwards. So you're using your body, listening to yourself, um, for what's best for you instead of going only by logic. So, for example, even in simple things like choosing what to wear, what I have been doing, if I'm torn between like one dress and the other. For example, if it's a black dress or a red dress, I'll put my dresses here and here. And most of the time, the body, where my body feels pulled or open, then I'll choose that particular dress. It doesn't mean this other dress is bad. It's just this color or this dress for a particular reason, it's more aligned with that particular day and you'll be more comfortable in that dress. So those are kind of the things that I have been practicing. They sound silly, but they're very, very useful. And I learned these tips from one of the greatest coaches here on YouTube. Maybe I'll share her name in the future. um, but your intuition, your body knows before facts. For example, it's when another example is when you are in a relationship. Sometimes you feel it in your gut that okay, this is not the best relationship for me, but because you don't have facts or logic information, sometimes you stay in this kind of relationship, but your body, and then the facts will come around that okay, now you have facts. For example, something happens and then you realize okay, I knew this. So that intuition, it's your body telling you this is not something that is aligned with you. It doesn't necessarily mean this other option or this person is a bad person. It just your body knows what's best for you, for your path. And whenever we are in a situation where it's not aligned with where you're going, why you're here on earth, your body can sense it. Or if you are in like a dangerous situation, sometimes you are, if you are in a dangerous situation, you feel it in your body before you can even see or hear or anything. Your body senses. So these are some of the senses, the inner senses our ancestors were using before they like when they were hunters and gatherers. They didn't have all this technology to detect issues or problems. They were using their senses, their inner senses, to detect if a situation is safe or if they meet a stranger, and they would sense using. So these are things that are inherited in us as humans. And for some reason, as the modern generation goes on, these inner senses they are weakened, and it's our our responsibility to strengthen it, to be able to make a judgment based on how you're feeling. Especially as female, this is very very useful because females are not as strong as male, and when you listen to your intuition, you can tell when something is not good for you from just listening to your body. You don't have to have facts or logic facts to prove that this situation is not good for me, because sometimes it's too late when you have those facts. But basically, for listening for your body, you don't have to withdraw from the situation, but acknowledge it. Be extra careful when you have that feeling. Do not ignore it, because when you ignore the feeling, then it's weakened. Like in the future, you don't sense it because you've been ignoring it for a long time. So what I have been practicing really is to acknowledge my intuition and try to listen from it. Sometimes I don't have to act from it. I just acknowledge it. Okay, I'm sensing this, and then I pay extra attention, or I completely withdraw from the situation. Okay, this doesn't feel right for my body, and I don't know why, but I choose not to do this particular thing. Yeah. So one of the other examples, I think I lost my track of mind. It's so what I have been practicing really, it's how to strengthen your intuition, like your inner senses. Basically, you use you make decision from your lower body. So you take a deep breath. For example, if you do it now, you take a deep breath. If you have, you think of like a good experience. For example, think one time you were at the beach and you were enjoying something with your family, and think of that nice good experience. You can feel how your body opens up, your heart is open, your body expands. So that's how you tell, and then you can familiarize yourself with this particular feeling. So when something is good, your body opens up, your heart opens. And then if you switch from, so you take a deep breath, and then you think of something like a bad situation that you experience, or fear, or think of a situation that you're currently going through, that you're uncertain, unsure, or that you're afraid, like what's going to happen. When you think of that example, you can tell how your body contracts. So, and then sit in that feeling and practicing to notice that kind of feeling. So when you experience the same feeling in the future, you are going to determine that, okay, this particular thing is not good for my body, and then you make a decision from there. So that's what I have kind of been doing to strengthen my inner senses, to decide things that are aligned with my soul, instead of just thinking with logic mind. Because our brain tends to think, it tends to prevent us from danger even when there is no danger, and it relies on old memories. So if something happened and this is how we react, and then you keep reacting in that particular day. But if you're grown up, you don't have to still act like a child, but your brain doesn't know, it keeps reacting in the same way until you train it, you train the brain. So yeah, so basically it's what they say, like your brain is like a computer. It's like pre inserted, disposed memory, like information that it's using. And sometimes, most of the time, when you think logically, sometimes you have to think logic, don't get me wrong, but you also have to think using your body to decide what's best, what's aligned with your soul. Anyway, so that's what I'm currently learning. I don't know, it's interesting. It's the new things that I'm learning and just experiencing with life. And I'm currently finding that it's helped me in a way of calmness, peace. The decision that I'm making from my body, by listening to my body, I find they are aligned with my soul, like with what I want, and they give me peace. They are not mostly achieving like masculine part. Masculine usually it's more like achieving action. So if you have to practice from that particular um, logic way, sometimes it's useful, but also to practice using our feminine part, because we are both masculine and feminine. And when you are in your masculine a lot, as female, it's exhausting, it exhausts you. So that's when you need your masculine, like to listen to your body, to relax, to slow down, to make decision from that perspective. So if you find this helpful, please like this video and share what you're doing. Like, how do you make your decision? The other way that I used to do, instead of running around asking my friend, um, it's I would, if I had a decision to make and I'm torn between one decision or the other, I would go for a walk. Yeah, this really I find very helpful. I still do this today. I would go for a walk. I would leave my phone and everything, and then I'll walk for like an hour. First 30 minutes, it's like my mind is resting, I'm thinking about what am I gonna do. But after, like within like 45 minutes, I find myself that, okay, I'm not thinking about that particular situation. I'm immersed in nature, walking and enjoying the surrounding. And for some reason, a decision, like a clear thought comes in my head that, okay, this is what you're going to do. And it's usually very clear and it's peaceful. And there's no questioning. Like right away, I know that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it's been very helpful. So those two ways, that's how I'm finding myself making decision. And I find that it helps because it leaves me with peace. Like after I make a decision from that angle, I feel like I have peace instead of second guessing myself and learning from one person to another. What would you do? What would you do? But no one really has been in your shoes. um, and no one knows really what you have been going through. Not your family, not your siblings, not your friends. They may give you opinions of what to do, what they would do in their shoes, but it's up to you to choose to listen to your inner self and decide for yourself. Anyway, so that's my share for today. Please like and share this video if you find it helpful, and I hope you're having a great weekend. Yesterday was my birthday. I had a great birthday. I had dinner with my family and I ate the cake. They sang happy birthday for me. And tonight I'm going to see my sister, and there is a party. And yeah, so it's been a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're having a good weekend as well. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.